Welcome to WeConnect. Thank you so much for joining us on this program. Now, Freemasonry came to India more than 200 years ago, but there's something very special going on here in Chennai, and that is that the Mount Lodge number 14 is now celebrating over 150 years. And to this end, we've invited B.S. Kylas into our studio today to talk to us about what makes it so special. He's a past master at this lodge, and of course, he's the organizing secretary of this entire celebrations. Thank you so much for joining us today. What is so special? Why would you think that it needs the kind of celebration, 1 year-long celebration?
Thanks, Jennifer, for this opportunity to be with you. You just asked the right question. For instance, 150 years of existence is definitely a very big milestone. That too for an organization which has been in existence for more than 150 years. As per records, we have 150 years, but we do have evidence to prove that we've been in existence ever since 1797. So we thought it fit to once again reiterate our commitment to Freemasonry.
Right. But Kylas, I'm just wondering, is this because there are so few Masons in our country? If I recall, the number was what, about 17,000? Is that the right figure?
Yes, it's close to about 19,000 now.
19, yes.
All over the country, and probably about close to 9,000 southern regions.
So is that why you need to celebrate, because there are so few people?
See, not necessarily taking into consideration that point. For the simple reason, we do have members amidst us who are looking forward to this great event, because they have given so much to the movement. This is one way of saying thanks to all the past masters, also delving into the past and making out carving out a niche for ourselves, stating that we've done a lot of charity projects.
Yes, that's true.
The feel-good factor. And it's this lodge is being held in awe by all the Masons in Chennai.
Why?
For a simple reason, it's been in existence 150 years, and we've produced stalwarts. As you might be aware, leadership is not position, it's also action.
Sure.
And we have Masons who are versatile in their own way, proved to the world as well as to all the members in the fraternity that they've done something differently. We are just carrying on this legacy and trying to improve on what they've done. Out of sheer humility, we'd like to admit that now we'd like to do as many projects. This is once again trying to give back to society whatever we've got back from the society.
Right. Now this is Mount Lodge number 14, as we were saying and talking about earlier. Do you have a choice about which lodge you want to go to?
For instance, you do have a choice.
Really?
Once you know about the institution and you need to have this urge to become a Mason, and the enthusiasm and the motivation, because we don't solicit any members. It's out of their own will and pleasure that they come and join a lodge.
So you don't actually invite somebody to become a Mason?
No. That urge has to come from the person who wants to become a member.
Yeah, but you many times refuse people and say, they're not good enough, or their character might not be quite as impeccable as you wish.
Not that way, Masonry puts people on a different pedestal. It puts Masonry into men. It's the fine-tuning of the character. It's the onus is on the proposer. For instance, the person who proposed me is my own maternal uncle. There are exceptions. For instance, the father probably making sure that his son gets into the movement. Once he knows that this person will be one more asset to the lodge. That way, there are exceptions. Otherwise, to the third person, we usually don't solicit unless we know for sure he's got some innate qualities in him which would help the movement and will be a value addition.
Right.
That is out of probably the wisdom, experience that you get out of moving with people, that you know that this person is absolutely, or I would say, selfless, and the outlook towards the entire world is different.
Right. Now, may I ask, this particular lodge, how many members does it have?
We have close to 120 members.
That's very few. Do you see that number growing? Do you see, is there any sort of kind of standard quota that each lodge can have? Is there a maximum number? Is there a minimum number?
Now see, for instance, this attrition rate is very low in Masonry.
Really?
Yeah, unlike other institutions, if you look at the curves or the statistics, it will be like a yo-yo going up and down.
Yeah.
Freemasonry, it's quite steady. The simple reason, if by any chance a person gets into the movement and he finds that he's like a fish out of water, the system is so good, it's like the centrifugal forces which make sure it goes out of the system as quick as possible.
So people leave.
People do leave in case they find that what they had in mind and what they got out of it is something different. So you come in with absolutely a very clear mind, and that you have to make sure that you are a perfect person. And it's like what you might have seen, the complete man being shown the TV ads is not the complete person that we are looking at. It's a holistic development of this character. So we don't have fair weather friends from the fraternity. We've got people who can endure with us for lifelong.
Really?
Yeah, that's why you'll never find Masons, as long as if you look into my own experience, I've never come across Masons suffering from anyone from this Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease, because the brain is very active, very positive, and a different approach towards human being. The entire book teaches us all about art of living. Now they're given the name art of living, but if you were to go through the black book, you would know what all about art of living.
Right. So for people who don't know what Masonry is all about, and I include myself in that category, what do you mean when you say black book? To me, black book is that with a whole lot of telephone numbers in it.
As I mentioned to you, we are a society with secrets, but not a secretive society. So the black book is the rituals, which we practice inside the temple.
Which nobody else can know?
Yes, only if you were to become a Mason, you would know what it is. Now that is the thing which teaches you how to fine-tune your character, because I am a Mason for the last 2 decades, and I'm a different person in the last 2 decades.
You say you've changed?
You have changed ever since I became
For
Mason.
the better?
Yeah, for the better, definitely. Yes.
I presume, I'm hoping so. Okay.
That's for others to say, but I do have my own probably the meter or whatever, the gradation or whatever you call it, the ranking. I know I'm a better person than what I was way back in 1991.
Is this what your family say about you? Do they believe that you're a better person? Do your friends believe that you're a better person? I'm sure, I'm sorry if this sounds like a personal question,
yes,
but I really want to know if it's noticeable, shall we
Correct.
say?
It is noticeable. For instance, probably my wife would also vouch for it. I don't know.
We should have got her onto the show.
But my friends definitely say, yes, the outlook is entirely different. So we always think of the other person. The empathy is, the feeling of empathy is always there. That's why, this entire fraternity or whatever teaches you to always, what I would say, curtail your own expectations, okay, in every station of life. Okay, and try to give back to the society more than what you've taken out of.
Right. As a Mason, do you often look around at people and say, maybe that person would be a good Mason, or maybe I could encourage so-and-so, or are you always looking around to increase the numbers of the other members in your club, in your lodge?
Yes, we do. I've done it once or twice.
Really?
Because,
only once or twice in
because,
2
you
decades?
got to know a person inside out. Now, unless you know for sure that he would be a great asset, and he should have that inclination, even though he might be a wonderful human being. See, some of them have this misconceptions or apprehensions to get into the movement. So probably might make an exception once in a while, knowing that he is a son of a Mason. His grandfather was a Mason, his father was a Mason. In such cases, we do make an exception and try to rope in them into a fold. Okay, that too once or twice, because if there's no properly positive reinforcement from the other side, we don't actually pursue that.
Right. Kylas, I'm going to ask you to hold on for a short while. We're going to take a very short break here on Reconnect, and then we're going to get right back with you. Please don't go anywhere.
Hanganakali.
Ilayaraja. Sir, what are you sir?
First Reel வந்ததும் வருவதும் திங்கள் முதல் சனி வரை தினமும் மாலை 5 மணிக்கு.
பெட்ரோல் விலை குறைப்பு, மக்கள் ஆறுதல். டெங்கு காய்ச்சல், நெல்லையில் 42 பேர் பலி. புதுக்கோட்டை இடைத்தேர்தல், வாகனங்களில் சோதனை தீவிரம். தமிழகம் முழுவதும் மின்வெட்டு நேரம் குறைப்பு. முக்கிய செய்திகளின் அலசல் தமிழகம் முழுவதும் ஒவ்வொரு மாவட்டத்திலிருந்தும் உங்கள் பார்வையில் உங்கள் கருத்துக்கள். ஹலோ தமிழா
வரும் திங்கள் முதல் காலை 8 மணிக்கு உங்கள் NDTV ஹிண்டுவில்.
அபூர்வங்கள், வாழ்வின் விபரீதங்கள், வினோதங்கள், ஆச்சரியங்கள், அசாதாரணங்கள், இப்படியும் நடக்குமா என்று வியப்பை ஏற்படுத்தும் நிகழ்வுகள் உங்கள் வரவேற்பறை. 360 உலகை சுற்றி திங்கள் முதல் சனி வரை தினமும் மாலை 5:30 மணிக்கு உங்கள் NDTV ஹிண்டுவில் மட்டும்.
Freemason Mount Lodge number 14 here in Chennai City is celebrating its 150th year of its existence. And to this end, we've invited V.S. Kylas into our studio. He's a past master of this lodge and he's the organizing secretary of the celebrations that are very much underway. Now, let me first ask you, what exactly are you doing for these celebrations? What will happen?
Yeah.
Or what's happening?
Okay, the D-Day is 21st September and we've planned a lot of activities. For instance, we've already done a project called the Jyotirgamaya, thanks to our Grandmaster, Dr. Bishwakumar. We've provided lighting to a village situated near Ambattur, Uppukaramedu, to be exact about the location. There were 46 families living in that place without bereft of power for the last 3 decades. So yours truly took the initiative based on a report appearing in a local daily, went and met them and made sure they are given solar powered lighting for their basic needs, and also make sure that they are able to charge their mobile chargers, and this was provided free of cost. It's a part of the 150th year celebrations, joining hands with the Grand Lodge of India.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But in any case, from my knowledge, of my limited knowledge,
Sure.
The Masons do this kind of thing all the time. You know,
Yes.
either they are supplying wheelchairs, or they're doing a hospital, or they're doing various
Correct.
charitable activities like this.
Yes.
So, what do you believe is special? Is it special that you joined hands with the Grand Lodge of India? Is that what it
Correct.
is?
And it's another opportunity for all the members to use their resources and raise funds and to do something exquisite and extraordinary, not like run-of-the-mill charity projects like the Uppukaramedu, where it costs close to 5 lakhs.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, quite a lot. Like that, we've also embarked upon other projects like, you know, as I told you, a very versatile thinking from the members of the lodge to have the World Sparrow Day celebrated, care for the environment, and then we have plans to probably provide assistance to over 150 students, girls and boys from the underprivileged section, for the education till they complete the school finals. And then we also have got other projects like helping the public health center at West Marmlam.
Right. Kylas, normally, the Masons work very quietly. People really don't know what they're up to, and you know, you don't know what they're doing, you don't know, you know, about their activities. In recent times, we've seen a little opening up of the Masons somehow. For instance, you just sitting here giving me an interview is one of the things. And I was also fortunate to have your Grandmaster for India, you know, Dr. Bishwakumar. So, I mean, what is this new thinking? Why? What's happening within the move, within the Masons?
I know what you said it right. Probably about 2 decades back, they would have turned me as being precocious to have embarked
Yes.
But now the last 3 years, thanks to our Grandmaster Dr. Bishwakumar, we thought we should bring it to the open, the good things being done by the Masons, so that whatever misconceptions that is prevailing in the minds of the public, that we all have a lot of fun and frolic and no care for the others. That is one notion which I'd like to probably make sure that it is erased out of the public mind.
Now, but of course, there is this barrier really, because it's you come this far but no further. For instance, I say this specifically because I was fortunate to be invited by you and Dr. Bishwakumar to his investiture ceremony.
Correct.
And at a certain point in that ceremony, I remember that everybody was turned out of that hall.
Correct.
And there were only the Masons there. So there is definitely still, no matter what you may say, a cloud, a veil of secrecy that surrounds the Masons.
Correct.
So why? I'm saying you let people come this far but no further.
See, as I mentioned to you, this is a society which has got some secret, but not a secretive society. So certain parts can be revealed to the general public.
What can be so secret?
For instance, we are probably guided by an obligation. So that's why we can't reveal what happens inside the temple. But otherwise, rest of the things, is all easily available to the general public with the advent of the internet and the communications being excellent now. All that happens within the framework is available to the general public. Certain things are not to be revealed, so we do maintain the secrecy.
Right. But Kylas, so what happens to somebody who's disgruntled within the Mason fraternity, who leaves and then who just sort of publishes everything? And we've had that happen, haven't we?
That's true, but the percentage is absolutely probably negligible. The disgruntled one. If you look at the others who have done so much to the movement, they've got what I would say the best out of the movement. They are better persons, better statesmen. We've had people from all walks of life, like Swami Vivekananda, and Senior Nehru. Then we've had people adding light to this movement.
Right.
So, the disgruntled, there are exceptions. For instance, you might have made a mistake in probably inducting a person, and that person, after a period of time, as I mentioned to you about the centrifugal forces, it acts away from the center and make sure those who don't fall in line are out of the system.
Right.
So this is the thing which has been going. For instance, if there's, there is a lot of what I would say mystery and intrigue, and you can name it, and it is there in the book. And that's why the entire fraternity is very, very unified, very homogeneous society.
You're talking about homogeneous and you're using these expressions. To me, as an outsider, it's a boys' club. Is it in fact a boys' club, Kylas? I mean, maybe a grown-up boys' club, but a boys' club nevertheless.
Very serious business, very serious. Otherwise, you wouldn't find a very busy doctor spending 3 hours there. You wouldn't find a very busy judge or an advocate or anyone spending 3 hours. Okay, there's got to be something mystical about it and something very interesting to make sure that you cling on to it like a Velcro fastener.
Right, but boys' club, by using that word, I did not mean actually boys' club where they're having a great and wonderful time. I just meant that it is a gathering of people who obviously have the same thinking and who are looking in the same direction. No ladies in the Masons. Is that ever likely to happen? This is 2012. I mean, are the Masons ever thinking of opening their doors?
Probably I can't answer this question because there are many others who decide on this aspect. Right. But all that I could say is we are happy the way we are. So probably I wouldn't say anything much beyond this.
Beyond that. Okay, so we were talking and you said like if there are about 19,000 Masons in India. That's very few in a population like ours and in a country as big as ours. Overall, I know you said the numbers are small because, you have to get the right kind of people, etc. But surely there must be more than 17,000 people in our country who have the right credentials to be Masons and to probably be good ones at that.
That's true, yes. Probably there are. For instance, that's where like probably this forum or many other forums like the coffee table books and other things that we have published will probably enthuse people to come forward and make a move and solicit the entrance into these lodges. Now, because that is the only way probably we can think of people coming into the fold. So that way, this forum gives us excellent opportunity for others to make sure if they think we are good, they can come and join.
To make it known in a way, right? Yeah. Kylas, another short break now. But when we come back, we're going to ask him here, I'm going to talk to Kylas and ask him what it takes. How does one become a Mason if you really wanted to? So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.
blockbusters or a failed tank at the box office. Bringing the best of cinema right to your home. Catch all the action. Only on the big picture. With me, Paloma.
Before the bite, let the smell enchant you. Before the menu, let its history mesmerize you. If you are crazy about food, let the madness entertain you. Feeding Frenzy, Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Only on NDTV Hindu.
Welcome back to We Connect. I'm talking here with V.S. Kylas. Now, he is a Mason, and he's a very, very active one at that. He's here to talk with me about 150th year celebration of the Mount Lodge number 14. Now, Kylas, your lodge is 150 years old.
Yeah.
So there are other lodges. It's the third oldest in the country.
Oldest,
So
yeah.
where are the other two?
Other two are in Karnataka, in Bellary and Belgaum, Lodge Goodwill in Victoria.
So are we saying that Masonry first came to Karnataka, that part of the country?
Yeah, for this region, yes, it did.
Yeah?
Yes.
Now, is there any age? What's the youngest age that somebody can actually strive and maybe become a Mason?
21 years of age.
You have to be 21.
21 years, and in the case of sons of Masons, they can be initiated while they are 18.
That's it's a sort of an automatic thing, or what?
Not that way. They are given this preference that they are called as Louis. They can be initiated when they reach the age of 18.
Right. Now, in cities, you have, I presume, a fair number of Masons. What about out in the rural areas? Do you have lodges in?
Yeah, we have lodges spread over in the, down south. We have lodges. We do have new lodges which are being consecrated down south, depending on the necessity and with the willingness of the members to start a new lodge. We do have members coming forward to start a new lodge.
When your organization actually decides to do something charitable, do you find that it takes a lot of persuading? I mean, when you actually want to do something, do you have to work very hard towards that? I mean, what I mean is that if you went to do something in a certain area, do you have to sort of get various permissions? Do you have to, is there a lot of work involved?
No, I don't think that is necessary, but in case you want to do a project and you want to invite the regional Grand Master, who's our current regional Grand Master is Sushil Raj. So you can invite him for the function, and if the date is convenient to him, he would immediately agree, because the first priority is anything to do with the charity projects.
Right.
So our aim and focus is only on charity. So they are open, and immediately it's a yes for any of these projects. That's how we embark upon all such events.
So having said that, that means there are other projects also that
yes,
you
we've
do?
got ongoing projects being done by other lodges, ICAMs, then tending to the unclaimed body, dead bodies, and then we also have the Jyotirgamya. We'll be probably, thanks to a Grand Master, close to 100 villages all over the country might be powered by solar energy. So this was a project embarked by our Grand Master, Dr. Captain Balram Vishwakumar, and we've already touched 90 plus, probably complete 100. So this is another initiative, and for the very unique project, for the first time in India, being done by a Grand Master. It's his own.
It's his baby.
It's his baby. He's architect of this project.
Right. I suppose it must be a matter of pride that the Grand Master for India is actually from here, from Chennai.
From Chennai. Very proud of him, because he's also an honorary member of a lodge. It's a great honor to have him as an honorary member.
Is he elected or what? How does
No, this is actually, we invite him to be an honorary member.
No, I mean to be the Grand Master of India?
Yes, he's elected. He's elected.
He's elected by everybody.
He's elected by the past Grand Masters. There is a collegium which does this work.
Right. I want to ask you a personal question. Before you became a Mason, is it something that you wanted to do? I mean, did you see how they work? Did you see what they do? And then did you say, I want to?
To answer this question, for instance, my grandfather was a Mason, Kylas
Okay.
in Lodge Coimbatore. My paternal grandfather was also a worship master of Lord Justicia. So Masonry, we had a lot of family members who were Masons. And it was my maternal uncle, who was a past master of Mount Lodge, who had done great service to Mount Lodge as being the secretary for over 10 years, who proposed my name. And he probably thought I would be I don't know what made him say that I should be a Mason, but I'm very grateful to him for having done that, for having proposed my name to be a member of this great lodge.
Right. But Kylas, with all the secret information or whatever it is that you're talking about here, even if it's an uncle or a grandfather or a father or whatever, they're not going to tell you what's happening there. They're not going to divulge that because, as you say, you have an obligation to keep things to yourselves. So then how would a young man like yourself want to actually join? How do you know what you're going into? How do you know what happens there? I am very curious. Yeah. Please tell me.
See, for instance, we used to hear about the name Lodge being referred to as many times as possible while the family members get together. Where is so-and-so? He's attending a lodge meeting. But we've got a different idea about lodge. Then only came to know lodge is to lodge people in a temple.
Okay.
Yeah, so not the regular meaning or the conventional meaning of a lodge. So this evoked a lot of curiosity because I've not seen this building despite having gone through this Commander-in-Chief Road way back in the 80s, 70s. We never knew that this building was beautifully tucked away. And then only the minute he proposed me and he asked me this question, I would like to propose you, would you like to become a member? I said yes.
Kylas, I'm running out of time, but there is one final question I will ask you and then I will let you go. We hear it said that if a Mason loses a family member, the way everything is taken care of, or if the Mason himself, God forbid, should pass away, that his family is provided for and taken care of by that lodge. Tell me, is this a fact?
Yes, it's done without any publicity, pomp and publicity. That much I can assure you.
Right.
We do hold hands with the family and make sure they have a decent living. We've done it for many Masons. I know that we don't like to probably say what we've done, but we don't wish nothing like the untoward happens. But in case it does, we make sure we are there. That's where I said we don't have any fair weather friends. You can call any of the Masons dead of the night, and they'll be there at your doorstep.
I think that's great. Well, I'm a lady and I can't be a member of the Masons, but nevertheless, what you're saying to me is heartening, and it's obviously something that people are very proud
That's
to
the
belong.
bonding, the fraternal bonding.
Thank you, Kylas,
Thank you
very
so
much indeed.
Sure.
I do appreciate your time today.
Actually, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much indeed. And I'm really glad that you could join us here on WeConnect, and I hope that you have enjoyed listening to Kylas tell us about the Masons, because honestly, till now, there's been very little known about this organization. Recent times, of course, there's been a lot of press coverage, and of course, television shows like this one serve to bring some information to us as members of the public. And so, until the next time, I do hope that you'll continue to keep watching us here on WeConnect. Bye for now, and you take care.